Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic. And when I see puzzles about XY differences, I know we're talking about Glumhippo, but this time it's a recommendation by Glumhippo of someone else's puzzle, partly using Glumhippo's rule set of XY differences. And I will explain the rules in a moment, but first of all, coming up on the 1st of November, we have, of course, the rather fantastic Duality 2 by the Skunk Works. This is a set of puzzles in which all sorts of clues, lines and other things do double duty, and working out the interaction between those two uses of the lines, or whatever they are, is absolutely fundamental to solving the puzzles. It's a very interesting puzzle set, and I urge you to give some of the puzzles in it a go. That's really what I would say. Now, what else have we got going on? We've got all kinds of other things that we put on Patreon. We've got Sven's SUDOKU PAD and our merchandise are all linked under the video. And so are all of our apps. Now, they don't feature numbered room puzzles or XY difference puzzles, but they do feature all sorts of variant Sudoku, great introductions to those in Approachable Sudokus, but also slightly tougher ones in things like line Sudoku, domino Sudoku, chess Sudoku, sandwich Sudoku. We're very proud of our suite of apps. Do check them out. They are great value. Okay. What's going on in Numbered Difference by Astral Sky, who has featured on the channel before and is featured again with a recommendation from the great Glumhippo. So normal Sudoku rules apply. That is to the 9x9 grid. We're going to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. This perimeter is for the other things. Clues to the left or above the grid are numbered room clues. So let's imagine a 7 here. If the first digit in this direction is n, let's say it was a 2, then the numbered room clue must be placed in the nth cell in this direction. So that would be here. In the second cell looking down, it would have to be that numbered room, a 7. If this was an 8 and that was a 4, what do we get? We get an 8 in the 4th room, which is here. So that is how numbered rooms clues work. Digits connected by white diamonds have a difference of y, where y is equal to the numbered rooms clue of the diamond's row or column. So let's go back to where we had a 7 there, which did that. The difference here would have to be 7, which now that 2 was used up, would be a 1-8 pair. I think that's what this means. Oh, there's an extra rule that matters. All possible diamonds are given. That's really interesting. There is a negative constraint here, so there cannot be a difference of 7 down there, or between those two, because that would make a lie of that, for instance, if that was 7. Wow, okay. I'm still rather baffled that there are so few diamonds in this puzzle. How are we going to complete it? We will find out. You will find out if you give it a try on the link under the video, and if you fancy it. But I am going to start now. You can look at the video length to check how hard I found it. Let's get cracking though, and we will see how hard I find it. So this is different. Normally in Glumhippo's XY differences puzzles, there's only a 9x9 grid, and it's the first cell that gives the XY difference in the row or column. This is different. Right, we've got a sequence. This must be a sequence. Whatever the numbered room is here in red, it's giving the difference between those two cells and those two cells and those two cells. So there must be a sequence, ascending or descending, because otherwise you'd be bouncing back between the same numbers. And it can't be 3 or any higher number, because there just aren't enough Sudoku digits. So that's a 1 or a 2. And as we look down here, it's the same deal in column 1. So that's a 1 or a 2. Now, you might be tempted to think, so that's a 1-2 pair, but they could easily be the same digit. In fact, let's think about that for a bit. I suspect this is the place to start in this puzzle. I mean, if it turns out not to be box 1, I will be a monkey's uncle. Now, what is going on? If these were the same, wouldn't this be a whole continuous sequence? Which it could be if they were both 1, but it couldn't be if they were both 2. It would, because as you went 2, 4, 6, 8, say, then you couldn't go back to 6 round the corner here because you'd have 2 in the same box. So they're not both 2s. They're either both 1s or a 1-2 pair. I mean, that pencil marking is a bit bogus, but it's what I've just done. Sorry. So the next question is, can one of the differences be 1 and one of them be 2? I'm struggling to think how that works. Actually, it's quite interesting. Let's just randomly put a 3 here. It won't be right. Actually, I think I can see that it won't be right, but let's think about it. No, I'm not sure I can see that it won't be right, but I don't think it is. Anyway, what I'm going to say is if these were a 1 and a 2, so I'm leaving aside the possibility that they're 2 1s, which I think is very possible. I'm going to try and consider that 1 is a 1 and 1 is a 2. So from the 3, at a 2 differential, you'd have to go 3, 5, 7, 9. But on the 1 scale, you would go 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that's partly because 3 is not middly enough to let us go the same. Anyway, no, what that does prove is you can't ascend away from both of these, from this digit, with a 1 and a 2, or descend away from this digit with a 1 or a 2, because in the 2 direction you will meet, in the 2 direction you will meet with the same digit after 1 cell that you would meet with in the other direction in the 1 column or row after 2 cells. So this digit in the corner is therefore, whether this is a 1-1 or a 1-2 pair, this digit is in the middle of a full ascent or a full descent going one way round. And it is therefore not 1, 2 or 3 or 7, 8 or 9. This digit is 4, 5 or 6, so that we have the license to both ascend to it and descend to it. Now, I'm going to say I don't think either of these can be a 2, because although you could ascend up to a 4 with 1, 2, 3, 4, you couldn't keep ascending round the corner 6, 8, 10. And the same must apply with a 6. 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, 0. And 5 doesn't make it any different. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. So these are both 1s, I believe now. They don't really need any colour. So 1 is the difference, and this is a continuous sequence of digits. And that is 4, 5 or 6. And now we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and various other permutations. I don't even really want to mark in. Oh, but we've got the numbered rooms rule. What the heck? Okay, so if this was a 4, that would say 1 is in the 4th room south, which is possible, but it would also say 1 is in the 4th room east, which would not be possible. If you put 1 there and ran a sequence round, you'd have a 7 here. So this is not a 4. If it's a 5, that seems likely. 1's in both of those positions. If it's a 6, 1's in both of those positions. So I think we've got 1's in these cells, either both of those or both of those. Now, if this is a 1, I was going to say this goes 1, 2, 3. That is not the case. We have not established what the numbered room digit for this row is. We don't know what this differential is. So actually that's quite plausibly a 1. bother. There is the negative constraint. Yeah, that's going to do it. Oh, that's marvellous. That's marvellous. Right, if this was a 5, these would be ones by the numbered rooms rule. But in one of these directions, we would be going 5, 4, 3, 2. In the other one, fine, we'd be going 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. No bother. But in the direction where we were going 5, 4, 3, 2, there would have to be a diamond linking the 2 to the 1, either there or there. So this is not a 5, which I thought would be by far the most likely result. That is a 6. What a brilliant beginning. That's absolutely incredibly weird. That's a 5-7 pair. This is a 4-8 pair. This is a 3-9 pair that I wish I could show as definitely different from each other. Now, what do I... Oh, yes, I get to place the ones by the numbered rooms rule. I find the numbered rooms rule very hard to work with, but there we go. We've got ones in place. Now, we do have this thing. But we've also got 1, 2, 3, and 9 to place in box 1. And we've got some more diamonds. What can we do with those? I don't know at all. How about this pair? The trouble is there are 8 possible combinations of those 2 digits, which gives me up to 8 possible numbered rooms clue numbers. Oh, the numbered rooms clue here is saying what is in room 1. Well, it's got to be a 1, and here as well. Right, so I can fill in this and this. Do you see this digit is N for this row, and it's saying that digit is in the first cell. Well, we know what's in the first cell, it's a 1. So that's a 1. Now the difference is always 1, so we must ascend up through 2 and 3. Now, is that going to do something? That's reduced the number of combinations here to 6. Is it worth case testing those? I don't know. There's a difference of 1 between those two. And there are no other differences of 1 in any of the rows and columns that we've got highlighted, because they're not marked with diamonds. I mean, in any of these where we've said that 1 is the... Oh, this would be a very weird puzzle if 1 was always... No. Yeah, 1 could always be the numbered room. That would be very strange. Anyway, I'm not dwelling on that for now. Let's look at this. I've got very little else to go on. The numbered rooms rule is putting this digit in either cell 4 or cell 8 from the top. But it's a difference between those two as well. The trouble is that difference can be 3, 2, 5, 7, 6, or 1. Well, we can't, I suppose we can't have 3, because 3 is not in numbered room 4 or 8. It's there. Oh, well, maybe... No, this isn't going to be any help. I don't know. Now I'm going to think of, oh, look, I've got a 3 in box 4. That's going to do it. That's a 9. Right, 8, lovely. So now that has got us going a bit. This digit is 4 or 5 because it sees 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, and 3. These, well, 2 and 3 are amongst these digits, and they have to be kept apart because this is a column with a difference of 1. So 2 and 3 are there, and in fact 2 can't be next to the 1 because there would be a diamond again. So, and this now can't be 4 because it would be next to 3. My goodness, we get to do the whole of column 1. Is that going to work in row 1? You can't have 2 next to the 1 without a diamond. So 2's in one of those cells. But then I've got 7, 8, and 9. I do know this digit can't be 8. Because it would end up next to either 7 or 9 on one side or the other. But I don't think this is as clean cut as column 1. Oh, it's because we had those digits in. Right, the rest of the digits in this box are 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, that is a 4. So that's referring to this cell as the numbered room. So the difference in this column is 5, 6, 7, or 8. And that applies here. Well, it's got to be 5. Now that we've reduced that to a 4, the possible differences are 3, 2, and 5. So it's a 5. That's a 9. That's not, and we're placing 5 in numbered room 4. That's there. Hooray! Progress. This is oh look, this can't be an 8 because it's next to 3. So even at the higher digits differences, we have to stay alive for what we're looking at. Now, in this column, I mean, there's not much, there is one diamond, but it's more about whatever is there is in numbered room 5. So it is 6, 7, or 8, because that's what's in this room. Now that is therefore the difference between these two. 6, 7, or 8 is the difference between those. This can't be a 9, and it can't be a 3. This is a definite 1. This is now not a 6, because the difference between those is 6, 7, or 8. And this is not an 8, because it's the difference between those two. And normally in a puzzle, I would now say one of these is 7, but that doesn't matter here, because they're not both in the grid. So that's now, anyway, we can finish off box 1 by Sudoku. That's a 2, and that's a 3. And this is saying 6 or 7 goes in numbered room 5. So now apparently I've got a 6, 7 pair. I almost don't know how that's worked out, but it has. That's an 8. The difference is 7. That's a 7. That's in numbered room 5. And box 4 is finished. This is like magic. This is like absolute genius magic. Now, 187. Hang on. I'm gonna get excited about numbered rooms now, which is a rarity. The numbered room here is in room 3, which is there. Okay. The numbered room here is in room 8. That has a difference. Right. Whatever digit this is, you put it in there, and then you double it into there. How do I know that? Well, imagine it's a 4. Which it isn't, but imagine it was a 4. That's saying there's a 4 in numbered room 8. You'd put a 4 there, but there's also a difference of 4 between those cells. And with the 4 there, you can't go down to 0, so you have to go up to double x, if that's x. But we can't do it with a 4, because that would be an 8, and we've already had an 8 by Sudoku in the row. So it obviously isn't 1 or 2 here. The only digits you can double and get another Sudoku digit are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is a 3. And that is a 3 clue, and this is a 6, and the difference is fulfilled, and this difference needs to be fulfilled with a 5, and we are rocking and rolling. The negative thing's going to come in. Now, this digit is there, but it could be anything. Well, no, it couldn't. It can't be 4 or 6, because then there'd be a diamond. I mean, interesting, but not worth pursuing. This digit is there in room 9. This digit is there in room 4. This digit is there in room 3. Now it's not, no, it could be a 1. It's 1, 7, or 8. This digit is there in room 2. This pair has a difference of 1. Okay, this is in room 3, so it's a 5, because we see what's in room 3 in this column. So this puzzle was created in 1755. No, I'm joking. Now, this difference is 5, and this is not a 3-8 pair, because 3 is gone. So it's either 1, 6, sorry, that way round, 2, 7, it's not 3, 8, or 4, 9. No, it can't be 4, 9. No, 4, 9 would be the other way round, weirdly, because of the 1, 2 here and the 4 there. Now, this is saying that this numbered room 4, this n is in numbered room 4. So that's 1, 2, or 9. It's not 1, because there would be a diamond between those two. and therefore this is now not 6. It's really interesting how the interaction between rows and columns works in this. I was quite interested early on, wondering if this was an alternative break in column 9 where there are 3 diamonds. But actually, I don't think I'm using that at all, certainly not yet. Now, if this was a 2, you've got 4, 7, 6, 2. This can't be a 4, can it? Because there'd be a diamond between those two, 3 and 4. Right, that's a 7, that's a 2. This is a 2 clue. And now I have to avoid 2 differences in this row. It may not be that difficult to do that, but in fact, what it means is when I place 3, it mustn't be next to either 1 or 5, I think, in that row. It's okay, it's not as helpful as I was hoping. I also have to avoid 5 differences in this column. So actually, this can't be an 8, because it would be next to 3. 3, 5, 1, 7, 9, 8. This is 4 or 6, which is reasonably constrained, I would have said. This is putting something in numbered room 7 there. This is putting something in numbered room 9. Now I have to avoid 5 differences in the rest of this column. So that's not an 8. That means this is not an 8. That means the difference in this row is 1 or 7. In a row with no diamonds, 1 is a little bit constrained, but don't know. Now let's think about, let's think about this column. 2 mustn't be next to 9. So this is really interesting. There are constraints going on. 5 differences couldn't apply between those, and 7 differences couldn't apply those. So we've used that one up a bit. Now, if that was a 1 and this was a 1, this couldn't be a 4 because of the difference there. So if that's a 1, this goes 3, 6, 1. 4 or 8 or 9 here. Okay, I am beginning to worry that this gets a bit harder at this point. I've finally noticed. Okay, we can't have any more 1 differences in this row. Now, we've still got 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 to place. Next to 7, we can't have 6 or 8. In this, we have a difference of 1 with the cell above. So if this is 9 or 8, that's 9 or 8. If this is 6, that's 5. If this is 5, it's impossible. And if this is 4, that's 5 or 3. Oh, bother. That can't be a 6 by Sudoku. Okay, I don't know what's happening now. 3, 1, 5. There's a 2 in one of those cells. Is that any use to me? Yes, it is. This can't be a 2 because there'd be a diamond between those. Lovely. So that's a 2. Now, that is providing a difference of 2, 5, or 7, which is the digit that goes into either box 7, 8, or 9. Well, it's not 2 that goes in boxes 7, 8, or 9. So that's not a 2. That's not a 4. It could be a 5 that goes down in 7 or 9, or a 7 in any of them. But the difference is 5 or 7. There are no other diamonds in that column, and that's hardly surprising with those levels of difference. Now, what am I missing up here? Can that be an 8? Yes, it could, as long as it's not next to 2. Okay. In this row, whatever is there is in box 7. Well, it's 1, 4, 5, or 8. I mean, I don't think that really helps at the moment. goodness gracious. Is it this column? Or I liked this row because 4, 5, 6. Well, 5 has to be kept apart from both 4 and 6. 8 and 9 have to be kept apart from each other. I just don't know how it plays out, though. I didn't expect this to keep getting harder or to get... I thought that opening step, and that was a beautiful stuff. I thought that was going to be the hard bit of the puzzle, and now I'm very stuck again. That's either a 5 or a 7 difference. Now, we're not allowed another 3 difference here. Oh, this is important. That can't be 9, because there'd be a 3 difference, and that can't be a 7-4 pair. So this can't be 7. Look at that. If this was 7 now, that would be 4, and there'd be a diamond between those two. So that's 9. This is 7. This is now not 9, and we're putting a 7 in numbered rooms 7 or 8, one of those two. And therefore this is now an 8, and that bounces back like Tigger, and we put the 7 there. And that's not 7 by Sudoku. This 3, 8, 1, 5, 2, 9. This is 4 or 6. That's the only place for 7 in the box. This is a 4, and I just want to check we haven't got a difference of 3 that's sprung up illegally. No, that's good. This is not a 4. Now, this can't be a 6-7 pair because of the 1. This negative constraint, it's massive. I had thought it might be a little significant. I couldn't have been more wrong. That's not a 9. You see, this is beautiful as well. Look, by Sudoku, this is 1, 3, or 5. But look at that, 2. Oh, no, I've miscounted. I thought that was going to mean this had to be 1. It doesn't actually affect those at all. However, this pair, I don't know, it's getting difficult. I'll tell you what, here's a nice one. 9 and 8 have to get placed in this box. They can't be there. So 9 and 8, well, they have to both be in these cells now, which is fine for the thing, but it reveals that that is an 8-9 pair. This can't be 8 or 9, or it would be next to another 8 or 9. Now I've got a 4-5 pair, and these remaining digits in the row are 6, 8, and 9. If 6 is that, it's going to determine that that's a 4. Now, the remaining digits in this column, bingo, that by Sudoku, given the 8-9 pair, has to be 3 or 6. It can't be 5 or 2. But it can't be 6 by the rule. So that's a 3. And now that's 1 or 5. This is a 1, 4, 5 triple. That's 6. It's quite complicated, but you can get your head around it. That's a 3. There is a difference of 1, 8. We're not allowed in that column. Not possible. Now, here we've got 2, 5, and 6 to place, but 5 and 6 have to be kept apart by a chaperone 2. Otherwise, they would touch naughtily. So that's the 2 with 5 and 6 there. That's not 5, which I know because it's the same as that digit. Still don't know what the numbered room is here. Up here, no, I still don't know here either. Although I might have got more clues, and I haven't. I don't think that sequence has ruled out 1, 5, or 8. Up here. Now, in this row, we're fine. 2, 7, 9. This is a 1, 5, 8 triple. That's just Sudoku. This difference could be any of 9 possible differences. I'm sure some of them overlap. I'm not really interested at the moment. I'm getting much more joy from, well, much more traction from the other bits of the puzzle so far. Now, 3, 7, 2, 5, 6. These are from 1, 4, 8, 9. But what are we not allowed? A difference of 5. So 9 can't be next to 4. And that means 4 can't be in this cell, or it would be next to 9 somehow. That wasn't very helpful. This is a 7 in numbered room 5. Unfortunately, that doesn't rule out this being a 7 in numbered room 3. Now, I haven't looked at this bottom row for ages. We're talking about what goes there. And then it's going to be the difference that doesn't appear anywhere in the row. That could easily be a 9, but I'll tell you one thing we haven't been guaranteed is that we will know. Oh no, we will always know what the numbered room is in a clue at the end. Yes, it will be positioned in its cell. Sorry, I'm being incredibly weird for a moment there. Right, this digit is 1, 2 or 7, and that is the numbered room clue here, because it's in cell 9. Now it can't be a 1 or we'd have a diamond there. Can it be a 2? Not if that was a 4. Can it be 7? Yes. Ah. Okay, I'm missing the next step. 5 difference in this column. That's just applying to 4, 9, I think. 5 difference in this column, not interesting. 7 difference in this one, we've dealt with it. 7 difference in this one, I didn't really think about that, but I can. Look, that can't be a 1, 8 pair, or there would be a diamond between them, so this has to be a 9. Oh, that is just peculiar. So that places 9 in box 7, and that means this is a 9 in the numbered room clue, and now we know we're not going to find a 9 difference because they can't really exist. Now, that means these don't have a 9 in, and we're not allowed either of them to have a 4 in this column now because of the 5 difference. Wow, I mean, this is just genius. It just goes on being genius. I love this puzzle. This is so clever. Just doing Sudoku now, and that makes me excited in its own right. Now, we're sorted in this row, basically, because that's 1 or 8. We will never meet a 7 difference again, or a possibility of it. Now, in this row, yes, 4, 5 don't have a diamond, so this isn't a 1. That's a 7 again, and that goes there. I say again because we've got 2 7s next to each other. Luckily, in the perimeter, that is not a problem. Now, these digits are from 1, 2, 8, 9. We're not allowed... oh, 2 and 9 are over here, and they're not allowed to be together. Even in a 7 row, we need a chaperone, which is here. This is a 2, 9 pair outside a 1 or 8 there. In this row, we're selecting from 1, 3, 6, 8, and there's no information. Well, because 1 or 8 is already there, they can't do the dirty. That's a 1, 3, 6, 8 quad, though, and this is 4, 5, 7 down here. That's not allowed to be a 4. Oh my goodness, you know what we're going to have to do. You do. We're going to have to deal with column 9 and just figure it out. That's become a 4, actually. That's quite important. These are from 3, 5, 8, 9. Now, 3 and 5, they're here, and they need a chaperone in the middle, which is 8 or 9. Because 3 and 5 must not touch in a row of 2. So we've got a lot going on. Now, this is describing what is in box 7 or 9. Well, I mean, it's not a 2 there. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with this stuff now. 3 is looking at that cell. I'm literally just doing the basics of Sudoku now. No, I must find something else to do. So row 1, we can't have a difference there. This is now, surely I can rule something out. 1, 5, 8. Well, this could be a 1, actually. And the row would have no consecutive digits, so it would be fulfilled. If it was a 5, I don't see the problem. If it was an 8, there is no problem. So I can't really do anything with that. In this row, look, there's no diamond between those. So this is a 7. It's not a 2. So that's a 7, and these aren't. And that puts a 5 in the bottom corner. That makes that 7 and that 4. 7 is placed in the top row, and then I can do 9 and 2. Now we're talking, because these are the end positions. That really matters. So in this column, room 9 is occupied by a 7. In this one, room 7 is occupied by a 1 or an 8. We will come back to that. In this one, room 2 is occupied by a 1, 5, or 8. But there is a diamond. That means this is double that in the same way that we learned earlier. So it's a 1. And now this is a consecutive pair. It must be 8, 9. Yep. This is a consecutive pair at the bottom. Must be 6, 5. That's a 3. I think we're going to finish off now. Oh, that's brilliant. Right. Still don't know what that is. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4. That's become a 2. That makes that a 1, and this a 3. This can't be 6. We've got a 1, 8 pair. 9, 6, 9, 8. Oh, look, a 1, 8 deadly pattern at the bottom. Something's going to resolve this. Oh, but it's a difference of 7. Oh, no, it could be a difference in the column. It's going to be this column, and it's also going to resolve this. So this cannot be a 1, because 3 and 2 in this column would be naughty in that case. So this is an 8, saying that we put an 8 in room 7, which is there, and that is going to disentangle the deadly pattern. And there we go. What a fabulous puzzle. Oh, I didn't get a tick, and I should have got a tick for the grid. I mean, I can write this number in. It's now an 8. Oh, okay, you have to actually put the perimeter in. I didn't expect that, but why not? We worked out as we went along that you were going to have to put the perimeter. My goodness, 2 years. This has had 11 solves. That's sad. Well done, Glum Hippo, for bringing it to our attention. That is a very clever puzzle, but really quite tough to get your head around. I'm satisfied with that solve. Most entertaining. Well done, Astral Sky. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.